Hey everybody, Pete Pardo here from Sea Tranquility. Welcome to another edition of our What's Hot series. Today is Friday, October the 19th. Happy Friday to everybody. We got a pretty quick show here today, just a couple new releases and one forgotten favorite I want to run by you. We're going to have a bunch of these popping up over the next couple of weeks because there's some really good stuff that's either coming out real soon or just released over the last week or two, and they're kind of flooding into my desk, office, house, whatever you want to call it. So I'm going to be doing a series of shorter shows where I talk about like 2 to 3, 4 tops new releases each week. So we're going to be doing that over the course of the next couple of weeks. So the first one, our featured album of the day, is the latest Nuclear Blast release from Icelandic. That's right, they're from Iceland. I'm going to call them 70s hard rock power trio. Kind of fits their music a bit. Of course, I'm talking about the Vintage Caravan. Gateways is the name of their latest album. If you have not checked out the Vintage Caravan, this I believe is their 4th album. Their last, I think this is their 3rd? I believe they're 3rd for Nuclear Blast. Really cool band. This is your kind of typical 70s style power trio. Guitar, bass, and drums. Guitar player sings. They're really young. These guys, I don't think anybody in this band is over 21 or 22 years old. They've been at it for a while. So these guys have been together as a band since they were in their really, really early teens. I think 12 or 13 is when they started playing together. Really good kind of heavy rock, bluesy, hard rock. I wouldn't call these guys metal by any means. They're kind of like an odd fit for the Nuclear Blast label, but they work so well on the label because they add that bit of variety, which is kind of nice. We got about, 10 tracks on here. Really strong vocals, killer guitar work. Okay, the guitar player is seriously good. He hits on that kind of, late 60s, early mid-70s kind of bluesy, heavy rock, hard rock tone. Mostly plays a Flying V, but I believe he plays a Les Paul as well, possibly some Strats. And just a really, really cool album. Some great tunes on here, like Reflections is great, Hidden Streams is really cool, Nebula, Set Your Sights, all really good stuff. What I love about this album, and I like all of their releases, but there are a lot of groove on this album. The rhythms are really cool, really thumping grooves from the bass and the drums, and the riffs are fantastic. A lot of really catchy tunes. I'm finding this album a little more song-based. There's still plenty of jamming and ripping guitar solos, but they seem to be going more for a more kind of song-based formula, but still heavy, still memorable, still anthemic. I like it a lot. So if you're into like kind of all these retro 70s style hard rock bands that are out, and there's so many of them, do not miss out on the Vintage Caravan from Iceland. And again, their new album is called Gateways on Nuclear Blast Records. Highly, highly recommend that. Also, similar type of thing. This band kind of like came out of nowhere for me, knocked me on my ass. Their new album is on Metalville Records. It's the German band called Hound, H-O-U-N-D, and Settle Your Scores is their new album. So, everybody's talking about Greta Van Fleet lately, right? That they're kind of like the darlings, these young rockers, heavy rockers who are doing like the Led Zeppelin style thing, and I dig them a lot. But if you want something slightly different, okay, but along those kind of same lines. So these guys, Hound, they more come from a background of, let's take classic Deep Purple, classic Mark II era Deep Purple. So that's like, In Rock, Fireball, Machine Head, that sort of thing. So you got the crunchy Hammond organ, the blistering, bluesy, metallic lead guitar work. But their vocalist, instead of doing like the Ian Gillan thing, is like squarely in the Robert Plant camp. So figure and picture a collision of early 70s era Led Zeppelin and Deep Purple colliding to form this just amazing thing. I dig this a lot. Really, really good. Really upbeat songs, again, with a lot of energy. You got those blistering Hammond organ and guitar work going on, blazing solos, cool riffs, the really high-pitched bluesy vocals, atmosphere when needed. A great, great hard rock album from a bunch of young guys who, again, are kind of harnessing their early 70s, releasing it here in 2018. Dynamite, dynamite stuff. So you cannot go wrong with either of these, folks. Trust me. If you, I know there's a lot of people out there that just cannot accept any of these younger bands doing like a retro style thing and kind of mimicking bands from the past. So if you can't get past that, then don't bother. But if you kind of miss some of the classic material from those bands from the 70s and don't mind the younger bands kind of using some influences there and creating their own thing, then I highly recommend both of these albums. All right, from Sweden, AFM Records, the latest from power metal act Manimal. It's called Purgatorio. Another solid release from these guys. Let's see if we got a pic of them here in the booklet. I'm sure we do. If you followed these guys over the last couple of releases, their last one especially was very good. This is as well. If you like kind of, modern Judas Priest, so it's kind of like power metal meets traditional metal. Yeah, these guys do a little bit of the eye makeup thing. I find a lot of the AFM roster of artists do that. I'm not sure why. Quite good. Big, fat, crunchy riffing. Vocals in a Halfordish kind of realm. Good choruses, a lot of anthems. Not reinventing the wheel by any means, but a very solid album. I kind of dig that cover art too. Most of the AFM Records releases have really cool cover art. But, Manimal, very solid band. Album to album to album, they just hit it out of the park all the time. So, again, nothing you really haven't heard before, but so well done, it's impossible not to really like this. So, I recommend this as well. Purgatorio by Manimal from Sweden. Okay, it's time for our Forgotten Favorites. Today we're going to go back into the vaults. We're going to go back in time to 1975. I'm going to kind of move into jazz fusion a little bit here because I've been on a jazz fusion kick for a while, ever since I did that damn top jazz fusion albums of the 70s show. I've been like, it's been nonstop for me. Anyway, this is an album. I know this particular band, their album Heavy Metal Bebop tends to get all the acclaim, and rightfully so, because it's fan-fucking-tastic. But I really dig their debut as well. This is, of course, I'm talking about the self-titled release from the Brecker Brothers, 1975. We got Randy Brecker, Michael Brecker on trumpet and saxophone. Who else we got here on this outing of jazz, fusion, and funk, and rock, and pop? We've got David Sanborn on alto sax, because, of course, Michael plays tenor sax. We got Don Grolnick on keyboards. We've got Bob Mann on guitar, Will Lee on bass, Harvey Mason on drums, Ralph McDonald on percussion, and Christopher Parker on additional drums on a track or two. So a dynamite lineup, a dynamite band, some just amazing, memorable songs on here, some skunk funk, some real Brecker Brothers classics on here. Some skunk funk and Sponge, Sneaking Up Behind You is great, Rocks is awesome, Oh My Stars, DBB, Creature of Many Faces, Twilight, top to bottom, back to front, whatever. A great album. If you're a jazz fusion fan and you don't have this, you need it. Again, it's got jazz and funk and rock and pop and little bits of soul. It's just everything all roll into one. Amazing reed and horn work, just incredible. So if you like that sort of thing, can't go wrong with this album. It's dynamite. Anyway, that's it for today, guys. So visit us on the web at www.seaoftranquility.org. We're on Facebook. Check out our Facebook page. I know I posted another video recently. We've got polls going every day on the Facebook page. They're a lot of fun. A lot of people taking part in them, giving their comments and feedback. So if you like posting feedback and getting into conversation with people here on the YouTube channel, do it over on the Facebook page too. There it's more centered on polls. So voice your opinions. It's a lot of fun. Anyway, we got lots of new stuff coming up. I got a couple rants I'm working on. I am going to do, we've had another delay doing the Judas Priest History of show. Chris and Aloe and I are just having a real hard time getting our schedules working side by side to be able to get together to do that, but we are doing it. It's coming in the next couple weeks, but I'm planning a Gillen show that I might try and squeeze in this weekend. I'm going to do, because so many of you have asked for it, I'm going to do a History of Blue Oyster Cult. That is coming up real soon. As soon as I can get it done. I've got a couple of the rants to do. I've got all sorts of, I'm going to do some more, what do you call it, the deep cuts from classic albums. I got a couple more of those that are in the works. So all sorts of stuff happening. It's just a matter of me finding the time to do it. And actually, I can't wait until the end of the year, because I get a couple weeks off for the holiday break at the end of December. Plus, I'm going to take some additional vacation time. And I am planning on doing probably a show or two a day and catching up on all this stuff. I've got a list of to-dos for this channel that is just mind-blowingly long. So I'm going to really take the time while I'm off to just go through a lot of that stuff. So, and thanks everybody for watching the my little rant on the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame 2019 nominee list. Most of you seem to like that. It's gotten tons of views over the last, 48 hours since it's been posted. I know some of you didn't agree with my picks, and that's okay. It was meant to be fun, so, you know, don't take it too seriously. My rants are just fun. You guys like the rants, I do them, so enjoy them. Don't you know, lose any sleep over them. Just enjoy them, laugh at them, and move on to the next thing. So anyway, guys, take care. Visit us on the web at www.seatranquility.org. We'll see you next time.